the world of football, there are moments that transcend time. Moments where underdogs defy all expectations and write their names into the history books. For Aston Villa, that moment came on a legendary night in Rotterdam on May 26, 1982. It was the final of the European Cup, the most prestigious prize in club football, and Aston Villa, against all odds, found themselves facing German giants Bayern Munich. The atmosphere was electric, a sea of claret and blue clashing with Bayern's red. Over 39,000 fans packed De Kuip Stadium in Rotterdam, with the noise reaching a fever pitch as kickoff approached. Villa, managed by Tony Barton, had already made it further than anyone predicted. Barton, who'd only been in charge for 3 months following Ron Saunders' shock resignation, had led his side past the likes of Dynamo Kiev and Anderlecht. His tactical acumen would now be tested against Bayern's Paul Breitner and Karl-Heinz Rummenigge, led by their renowned coach Paul Czernay. It was a David versus Goliath clash. Bayern Munich, 3-time European champions, were heavy favourites. But football is a game of heart, and Villa's players were determined to seize their chance to etch their names into immortality. Disaster struck early for Villa as their starting goalkeeper, Jimmy Rimmer, was forced off with an injury just 9 minutes into the game. On came 23-year-old Nigel Spink, with only one first-team appearance to his name. It was a baptism of fire, and yet, Spink would go on to become a hero that night. Despite Bayern dominating possession and peppering Villa's defence, the underdogs held firm. Spink made save after save, keeping his team in the game, and then, in the 67th minute, came the defining moment. Tony Morley, Villa's dynamic winger, surged down the left flank, dazzling the Bayern defence. His low cross was met by Peter Wythe, who at full stretch managed to steer the ball into the net. The Villa fans erupted. It wasn't the cleanest of goals, but it was the most important goal in Aston Villa's history. The underdogs were in front. Bayern responded immediately, bombarding Villa's defence with attack after attack. But Spink, playing the game of his life, thwarted them time and again. The pressure was immense, but Villa refused to buckle. And when the final whistle blew, Aston Villa had done it. They had defied all odds and lifted the European Cup for the first time in their history. The players, the fans, they were overcome with emotion. Captain Dennis Mortimer held the trophy aloft, and in that moment, a club's dream had come true. For a team like Aston Villa, this wasn't just a victory, it was a triumph of heart over expectation. A reminder that, in football, anything is possible. Against the might of Bayern Munich, Villa's resilience, teamwork and passion had carried them to the pinnacle of European football. Aston Villa's 1982 European Cup triumph remains one of football's greatest underdog stories. A night when the impossible became reality, and the pride of Birmingham conquered Europe. Aston Villa, European champions, 1982.